To create new shaders in Artlantis, open a shader in the shader editor, make changes, and save it with another name. The best shader to start with is the basic shader. This wrench icon from the inspector opens the settings of the selected shader in the shader editor. The basic shader is a set of colors only, so the fields for the different texture maps are empty. We can start to add our own textures either by dropping one into the square or by double-clicking it and browsing the hard drive. We always start with the diffuse map. All texture maps composing our future shader are images with the most common formats such as JPEG, BUMP, TIFF, or Photoshop, and should be previously prepared in external image editors. The diffuse map, for example, should be properly cropped and evenly lit to avoid the repetition effect. Diffuse textures can be mirrored and flipped in both directions by checking the right options in the right side of the editor. The next image is for the preview, which is generally cropped from the diffuse. By entering the right width values for both preview and diffuse images, you can resize the shader later on in the inspector. The preview window displays the smallest modification, offering a close control of each setting. Through reflection and shininess, you define the way this surface will react to light. Should it be very reflective or not? You can differentiate the sensitivity with a grayscale image. The closer the color to white, the more shiny the surface. Try to set realistic values. Once saved, they will become the default values for these parameters. The next maps are meant to simulate volume to the surface. The bump map is generally a black and white image to simulate bumps and wrinkles. The slider will deepen or lift the black parts of the image, depending on which side it is dragged. The normal map is used to add details to a flat image without increasing the number of polygons. When a normal map is added to a shader, it will create the illusion of irregularities of that surface. Imagine a marble surface composed of tiles. With a normal map, the leveling of these tiles will change, producing scattered reflections. The slider for normal works the same way as that for bump. In the midpoint, the effect is 0. The map for the 3D effect is a bit blurry grayscale texture called Parallax, or virtual displacement map. Thanks to this map, the present stone wall will have more apparent depth and thus greater realism with less of an influence on the performance of the simulation. Just getting closer to the wall to better follow the effect of this parameter. The last map we should speak about is called alpha. Alpha maps are exclusively black and white images, which will simulate surfaces with holes. For some materials, experts can complete the list of parameters with the Fresnel slider and UV mapping. The UV mapping parameter will apply the customized UV coordinates of the surface set previously in the CAD software. When you are ready, name your shader and save it in a separate folder. As soon as the operation is finished, Artlantis will highlight the settings of the new shader in the inspector. You can now resize it and change the parameters. The shader editor allows you to open most of the shaders and change them. You can use it to modify existing shaders or create new, customized shaders for your media catalog.